Hi, welcome to Passion for Life with Dee and Friends, and I'm Dee, and thanks for coming out this evening to enjoy your passion and share knowledge. And my passion is all about sharing knowledge, because I think knowledge is power, and that we need to educate ourselves so that we can have the best quality of life, because we need to get back to basics. And tonight we have some friends, and we're going to have a whole lot of good knowledge coming on, and sharing and caring and loving and sharing our passion. And I have my friend here, and I'll say Road Dog is like, hey, because she's been hanging out with me for a couple of months now and helping me out and doing what I couldn't do and what have you. And I was going through a whole lot of challenges. And hi, Diane, how
Hi,
you doing?
Dee. I'm good, thank you.
I'm so glad you're here again.
I'm glad I'm here too.
Okay, well, we're here, and we got a little challenge with our cameras today, so we're going to do a little different. So we're going to be together all day.
Okay.
So, Diane, what's your passion for
My
life?
passion is acting. I'm an actor, and I'm also a photographer. I do pet photography. I love animals. And mankind, being kind to people and bringing peace to the world.
Oh, that's very important.
Yes.
So we have a new friend out here, and she came out, and she's going to share her passion and her journey. And Dr. Lisa, hi, welcome.
Thank you for having me here.
Well, thank you for coming. I'm so happy to have you. And I met you a couple of months ago, and we just been encountering each other and enjoying each other. And, well, first time, we have shared friends, and they're here cheering you on, and that's a real
I
blessing.
appreciate that.
Yeah. So, because this is your first time, what is your passion for life?
My passion for life is eyes, all about eyes.
Eyes. Okay.
Well, the eyes tell all.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yes.
And being a photographer, I always capture the eyes.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what motivated me to even name my practice Bright Eyes.
Well, you are a doctor
That's
of
right.
what?
Optometry.
Optometry.
Yes.
So, well, okay. You started out in the hood. So let's tell the story, how you became an optometrist.
I was born in Jamaica, Queens, number 5.
Home girl.
That's right. That's right. Same neighborhood, South
Okay.
Jamaica.
Yeah.
Very famous area. A lot of stars come out of there.
Yeah.
And I went to the public school system,
Right.
and I did pretty well. And then I went on to the high schools. When in that era, you was being shipped out, bussed out.
Right.
So I went to Martin Van Buren High School.
Okay.
And then after Martin Van Buren High School, I went on to college,
Really?
Hofstra University.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Had a nice 5-year scholarship there
Oh,
with the NOAA
really?
program.
Okay. What was that?
New Opportunities at Hofstra.
Okay.
It's a HEOP program
Okay.
offered through Hofstra University.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yes.
So you were well, I could tell you hanging out with some smart folks too, and you got it like that.
Well, I always had a passion for learning,
Uh-huh.
and
That's a
and
blessing.
and I was always focused. I knew very early on in life that I wanted to become a doctor,
Okay. Okay.
but I thought I was going to become a pediatrician.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
But then I decided, after going to the University of Miami School of Medicine for a summer program,
Okay.
working with cadavers, everything was great. But when there was fresh blood that I had to smell, I couldn't take it.
Really?
I could not take it. So
Oh, my
I was like,
goodness.
okay, we're going to change course here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I went into optometry
Okay.
at Pennsylvania College of Optometry in
Okay.
Philadelphia.
Okay.
Did 4 years there.
Mm-hmm.
Did some internships at Brooklyn VA and at the St. Albans VA hospitals. And I learned extensive training in glaucoma management,
Really?
the medical diseases of the eyes and how to treat them.
Mm-hmm.
Because optometrists are pretty much, there's 3 O's in this industry.
Really?
It's optician,
Mm-hmm.
the optometrist,
Okay.
and the ophthalmologist.
Okay. Okay.
So a lot of people get all three of those O's
I am
confused.
one of
Who
those
does the
people.
surgery? Who does the surgery?
The
The last.
ophthalmologist.
Right. the
That's
last.
right.
So you're an optometrist. Okay. Okay.
And then the optician is the one that actually produces the glasses.
Right,
And,
the eyeglasses.
Yes.
Oh, so he's like the technician.
Yes, but they're very highly trained technicians.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
but no, it's nothing wrong with technicians
Yeah.
or technologists or whatever, but it's just that it's that step up. So thank you for the education
Yes.
because I had no clue.
Yeah. So the optometrist is really like a primary care
Mm-hmm.
physician.
Okay.
Most people think that they have to go see an ophthalmologist,
Right.
but in reality, you should just go to a primary care optometrist
Right.
and let them evaluate you and see if you need a referral on to a specialist.
Right.
Because then you could be sent to the exact type of specialty you need.
Right.
Be it cataracts, be it retina for
Right.
diabetic retinopathy,
Right.
or a host of other different type of specialists that the
Right.
ophthalmologists are because they perform the surgeries.
Right. Right. So do you, in terms of with being an optometrist, do you advocate to changing diets and what have you? Because a lot of people really have, with changing of diets because of the sugar and the
Yes,
processed foods and all that kind of
absolutely.
stuff.
Absolutely. Well, everybody knows carrots are good for the eyes.
Right, right.
And why is that? It's really the bright color vegetables that are the best for the eyes. They help the cells in the eyes function more efficiently
Right.
and excrete their waste products so it doesn't build up in the eye
Okay.
and possibly cause macular degeneration.
Right.
So we definitely recommend colorful vegetables,
Okay.
low fats, because the eyes are the windows of the soul.
Mm-hmm.
And you look into the eyes, you could tell if somebody has high cholesterol, if they have hypertension, if they have diabetes. So based on whatever findings we see, we make those type of recommendations per individual.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Now sugar too, right? Because that affects the diabetes.
That's right. That's right.
I just had a test yesterday. I just went to get my eyes tested, and they found cataracts in both eyes, which I was really surprised, and astigmatism in
Oh,
one.
well, you were complaining that you couldn't
No, my
see.
eyes. Well, I haven't gone. I think it's in how many
Yeah.
times you should go? What, 2 times every 2 years to
You
get
should go
tested?
every year,
Every year?
annually, to get an eye exam. And you should get your eyes dilated with the drops.
That I had
And they
yesterday.
will leave you blurry for a few hours
Yes.
afterwards. So be prepared with some sunglasses or someone to drive you.
Yes, I
Can
had
you
a hard
drive
time.
home?
yeah.
No.
Yeah, you could drive,
Yeah.
I would say,
Wow.
10 minutes at most, just to
Okay.
go right home.
Okay.
But not around town, going
No, I had a
shopping
hard
like
time
that.
driving. I had to pull to the side for a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow. So, okay. So you went to the local schools, the public schools, and you did really, really good. And then you went to
Hofstra.
Hofstra, and then and Hofstra's not no joke either.
Yes, it's very challenging.
Yeah, and to have that program. So now you also said that. Well, how long you been practicing?
I started practicing in 1995.
Okay.
Yes, I graduated in 94.
Oh wow.
And
Okay.
I was pregnant when I graduated.
Really?
So when my daughter came, I took the first year off and I didn't practice.
Mhm.
So I actually started practicing a year later in 95.
Okay.
And then I opened my offices in 98.
Okay.
But in those 3 years, I sure did get my experience up. I worked almost everywhere.
Really?
Commercial practices like General Vision, Sterling Opticals, Cohen Fashion
Right.
Opticals.
Yeah,
I worked in private practices with other doctors, and that's where I felt the most comfortable.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then that's what motivated me to open my own office.
Right, right. So you're entrepreneur, and
Yeah.
you also are advocate for like children. You love children, and so you working with a group of folks. That's how I met you initially
Yes.
at a picnic.
That's
you
right.
know?
That's right.
And I really enjoyed. I had to leave early, unfortunately, but
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. That's the Malik Melody Sisterhood.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, that's a women leadership organization
right.
that we try to instill the necessary skills that's needed to succeed in your personal and professional lives.
Right.
So we start with health and fitness. We might do some money management. We try to inspire the younger women to take responsibility for themselves and become a future leader.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Very
Excellent. I
good.
love it.
So my offices, though, are in Jamaica, where I actually
And you
grew
stayed-
up.
you
And
stayed
yep,
there.
I came back home to
Yeah.
Jamaica, Queens.
Yeah.
I really got interested in eyes when I got my first pair of contact lenses.
Really?
Yes.
So
Way back when.
how old were you then?
I say when I got my first job and I earned enough money to purchase them, so about 16 years old.
Oh, okay, so you were wearing eyeglasses all the time.
All the time since
How
first
old?
grade.
Since first grade. Now, let me ask you a
Mhm.
question. I met this girl the other day, and she said when she was a young girl, she told her dad and the teacher she couldn't read the board, and they didn't take her seriously.
Mhm.
So kids, I mean, when
Very
they,
common.
yeah, very common that they don't believe.
They don't believe the children, or they don't want to believe the children. A lot of parents don't even want to see their children in
In glasses.
But it's very important for a learning experience.
But
That's
in
the
s-
number one thing. If you can't see the board or read a book,
Mm-hmm.
it's really going to hamper your learning experience. And very often they get labeled as attention deficit hyperactive
Right.
disorder. In reality, it's just they can't focus with their eyes. It's not that they can't focus with their brains. It's just it's a struggle for them. So I tell parents always listen to your children. And so many times when they bring their children into the office, they want to explain to me everything that's going on with them. And I really rather hear it from the child.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they'll tell you, "Oh, my head is killing me." Oh, and I actually listen to them.
Yeah.
And then I say, "You ever told your parents that?" And they say, "Oh yeah, for years." It's like so. It's a learning experience.
Yeah,
A
it's
lot
all
of
about
parents don't
awareness.
realize how
Yeah.
important it is.
So do they require in schools at this point eye exams or what
Actually,
have
they
you?
do. They do a lot of free screenings in the school system,
They do.
and the nurses usually do it. If the school has a nurse, sometimes they bring outside doctors to come into the schools and provide these screenings, and then they send them out with the referral forms to the local doctors
Right. Right.
to follow up.
So do
But
you
most pediatricians also
do
should be checking.
right
as
right.
well.
That should because at this point it's all about education, and a lot of people don't know to really be proactive and make sure their children are tested for
That's right.
for the eyes and hearing
And
and all
hearing.
that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
You know, because that's extremely and it's something that you can't see.
You can't see it.
You know, you
Right.
really can't
You
tell.
can't experience
No,
for anybody
exactly,
else.
Exactly.
I mean, the tell signs are squinting or moving very close to a television
Right,
screen or
right,
holding
right.
objects really close. Those are pretty obvious things. Or you might look at your child and one eye might just drift off. Any little thing that you see that is just catches your eye, you should investigate it. You never
Yeah.
know if it's something serious.
So since you couldn't deal with the blood, and so you decided with the what? So what made you go to the
Right.
the eyes?
So I had that great experience at 16 years old, coming from very thick horn-rimmed cat glasses. They were green. I had thick lenses, and my personal, I didn't have a very good self-image of myself. You know, back then you used to call you four eyes, and so when I got into contact lenses, oh boy, did my world change.
Yeah.
I didn't have these glasses in front of me. I was like, oh, I'm actually kind of cute there.
Hi.
So it really did change my personal outlook on myself, and that always stuck with me.
Okay.
So after Hofstra University, I had two other girlfriends that's optometrists as well.
Oh, really?
And they went on to Pennsylvania College of Optometry. And actually, one of them is a Malik Melody also.
Oh,
Julia
really?
Franklin. Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
And they told me about the experience and the process of getting in, and it really worked out.
Really?
Mhm.
So when did you graduate again?
I graduated
90?
there in 94.
94. And you said you practice is now from 95 till, and you had two at one point, or did you do one and then you opened the second one?
I've always had a primary location on Hillside Avenue
Okay.
in Jamaica Estates.
Okay.
And that was pretty busy, but it was a very tiny office.
Okay.
So I noticed that all my patients was coming from, that office was on the north side, and I noticed a lot of my patients was coming from the south side.
Oh,
So
smart.
I went looking for a space more convenient to the patients. So,
Okay.
because parking was very difficult
Yeah.
in the Jamaica Estates area.
Yeah.
So that's what motivated me to open up a satellite office
Okay.
in the South Shore of Jamaica.
So how do you manage, because it's only one, or do you have other doctors that work with you?
Sometimes I do.
Mhm.
If I go on vacations, some new grads come out and they're looking for some place just temporarily. So yeah, I usually hire some doctors to work with me. But most of the times I could juggle 2 offices.
Really?
Yeah.
So is it by appointment only?
Yeah, by appointment.
And then but you have a secretary at both offices?
Office managers
at
and
work.
staff
Okay.
Did you sell
at
glasses too in the office?
Yes.
Yes.
Each office has an optical and a dispensary. so-
Right, right.
Now, if I wanted to get I have the cataracts, and when I went to the doctor, because I act and I don't wear my glasses when I do film, I'm thinking about getting the contacts, and I never had them. I'm very bad with touching my eye, putting my finger in my eye and taking it out. I mean,
think
can I
you'll be
still
fine.
have contacts with cataracts?
Well, any kind of device that you put on is going to only give you so much correction based on the density of your cataracts.
Right.
So if you have very mild cataracts or small or immature, glasses can really correct you all the way. But if they start getting more pacified and denser, glasses and contacts really
Right.
is not going to make a bigger difference. So it depends on the level of the maturity of the cataract, just how much of an improvement can be made with either glasses or contacts.
Now, the thing is,
But you can wear contacts even though you might have cataracts.
so the thing is, what could you do to, besides the glasses, like in terms of nutrition, to perhaps help her combat those,
Well,
rather than having to go to underneath
the
the
number
knife?
one thing to prevent cataracts is UV protection.
Oh, really?
So many people
Oh,
love to
really?
be outdoors on
And
the
I'm out in the sun, and I don't wear
and
sunglasses.
They don't wear sunglasses.
And that could
They
cause
might put on
cataracts.
sunscreen, but they never think about those
I never
UV
wear
rays.
glasses out in the
Oh,
sun.
my goodness. So that's what causes the
Well,
cataracts a lot of
that's
times?
one of the factors that can contribute to the growth
Really?
of
Wow.
cataracts very quickly,
Oh.
early and
I
prematurely.
never wear glasses in the
Hello.
sun.
Okay. So, and
So-
she likes that sun.
Yes, yes. So that's usually the first thing I recommend, the transition lenses, even to children. Because
Really?
those
Which I do
lenses
get. I get that.
get
yeah.
dark when you go
Yeah,
outside.
hot.
They have the UV protection. You're covered from a very young age, and it really does slow down the progression of or the formation of a cataract.
But I don't even wear them when they turn. I don't wear this.
Yes.
You are definitely challenging there.
I will wear my sunglasses from now on in the sun.
Well, did they tell you how far you have?
Well, he said
progressed?
eventually I will need surgery.
Right, right.
Well, you
We
can.
really
Can you
usually
reverse
grade
it?
them.
They said no
There's no
reversing.
reversing.
Really?
But once you get the surgery, it's pretty much
So they have different grade levels for cataracts. Usually grade 0, where they're just not interfering at all, but the lenses are not crystal clear like our glasses. And then there's grade 1, where it's slightly interfering, up to grade 4, where it's really, I always ask my patients to wait till the longest they can with their cataracts. So when they are actually removed, there's such a huge improvement in their vision that they really can appreciate going through the procedure.
so. Once you get the surgery, is it pretty much gone, or is it
They're
always?
all gone.
They're all
They're all gone. The lens in our eyes, that's what we're talking about, that's getting opacified. In the camera, There's a lens that does all the focusing for it. In our body, we have a lens in our eye that does most of the focusing for us as well. We have these tiny little muscles that could pull on the lens and change the shape. And when we're very young, the lens is very flexible. As we get older and older, it becomes stiffer and stiffer and stiffer and harder to change the shape and bring things into focus. And at that point, most people need reading glasses at 40.
Yeah, I was in denial for quite a while.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I couldn't see the numbers. And I remember I put something on, and I thought it was a size 18. It wasn't. I couldn't get it off. I was like, oh, no, this is not good. I need some glasses. It was like a size 16. I was like, oh, okay. I had help. I needed help at that point. So I went and got me some glasses.
Now, when did you start getting reading glasses?
Probably about 42, 43, 44. Yeah, around that time.
Because I had like perfect vision, and then all of a sudden, overnight, it
Well,
changed.
that's what happens,
Yes,
you know?
that's right.
Yeah. But then when I noticed, they said my vision was still very, very good, but the slightness of the vision, the fact that it was different, it seemed like it was worse. But it really wasn't that bad, but it was just that it was bad for me because it was it was a little bit
It
more.
changed,
So
yeah.
that change, you can notice it.
Especially at nighttime when you're driving
Yeah.
in the rain.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the number
yeah.
one time when even the smallest refractive error or incorrect prescription will show its head and create a lot of glare for you and things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So,
Because I know my mom had cataracts, but the fact that she had a brain aneurysm, I was like, well, you know, that's the least of her worries at that point. And actually, my grandmother also had cataracts, but she lived with them for forever,
right.
and she was able to thread a,
there's some people that never need
needle, have
cataract
you?
surgery. Some people may
and
never need it.
it was amazing. I look at her
'Cause
like,
they used to wear, like, back in the day, we used to wear a lot of hats with wide brims and sunglasses, so they really protected themselves so much more then.
yeah.
And if you're not wearing those different layers of protection, then the lens in your eye is designed to absorb those rays so that it never reaches to the most important part of the eye, the retina and the macula.
Okay.
So to protect that layer of the eye, the lens acts as another barrier. So that's why it's important to have some barriers in front of those, so it really slows down the progression or the formation.
Really? So I want to talk about glaucoma, and I want to talk about a few other little things.
Okay.
So we have to take a quick break, so we'll be right back, and then we're going to talk about glaucoma and some other stuff.
Okay, very
Okay.
good.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
Galaxy Luxury Coach is a full-service limousine and party bus company. Family-owned and operated, we are an industry leader with over 25 years of experience in providing best-in-class luxury transportation for your special event. Whether it's your precious wedding day, an all-day wine tour out east, your high school prom, that special birthday, or just an amazing night on the town, our professional chauffeurs stand ready to ensure your special event is truly special. Galaxy Luxury Coach has one of the largest and modern party bus fleets in the New York area. Our party buses are simply nightclubs on wheels. Concert sound systems, light shows, lasers and strobes, multicolor LED lighting brilliantly lights your party bus inside and out. For corporate and more laid-back events, we will cater to your specific needs and requests. What sets Galaxy aside from all others in the luxury transportation industry is our attention to detail in customizing our services to your special event. At Galaxy, it's all about you and your guests. Galaxy customers return time and time again because they know they can trust Galaxy to help deliver those lifetime memorable moments. Step aboard and let your Galaxy experience begin.
Welcome to the Rehab Center located at 2025 Brentwood Road in Brentwood, New York. At the center, we offer chiropractic services, acupuncture, and physical therapy. We take most major medical, no-fault, and workers' comp insurance. If you need these types of services, contact the offices at 631-234-4949. That's 631-234-4949.
Being a fireman is more than just putting out blazes and giving kittens CPR. Sometimes my duty demands I fan the flames, like when a call comes in from a lady who needs immediate assistance. Maybe she needs help with a computer thing. Maybe she wants to go antique. Could be as simple as understanding that walking in heels it's hard. Aussi simple que l'été dernier à Paris. C'est sympa. Maybe it's ladies' night in, and she wants a simple, delicious recipe for margaritas with a twist. First, a can of limeade. Now hold on to this. You'll be using it. Side note, kittens make everything better. Next, add water. Now, a bottle of light beer. No, shh. Trust me, I'm a professional. And last, and most important, Sauza Blue tequila. Now, mix it up. Ole. Yes, that's what I'm trained for. Whether it's to help her choose leggings or pants, telling her leggings are pants, or discussing leggings and jeggings versus pant pegging at her next ladies' night in, I'll come to the rescue. Don't call me a hero. Just call me. Let me know what time.
Welcome back to Passion for Life with Dee and Friends, and I'm Dee, and I'm here with my friends, and we're just getting all this information, and we're going to talk about glaucoma a little bit, and then I was like, oh my gosh, we got, during the commercial, you missed that, but we're going to talk about it again. But cataracts, glaucoma. Now, glaucoma is about pressure. Explain to people what glaucoma is.
So, in our eye, we have this fluid that bathes all the structures with its nutrients and is produced by certain structures in the eye, and it's supposed to be able to flow out of the eye very easily.
Right.
Sometimes those channels that the fluid is trying to flow out of gets obstructed, or they're just very narrow angles to get through also. And then all of a sudden, that fluid just builds up in pressure. And then if they have so much pressure inside of the eyes, the tiniest little capillaries in our eyes start to collapse under that pressure. So without blood, there's no oxygen, and then you start to lose your peripheral vision, because that's where the tiniest blood vessels are.
Oh, okay.
And then once we start seeing signs of that, that's generally diagnosed as glaucoma.
And what do they do for that?
There's so many different treatment options. It really depends on the type of glaucoma you might have. There's surgery. There's medications that you could take. Normal course is to take an eye drop, and that'll lower the pressure. If you take your eye drops on schedule every day, don't skip it, then that'll lower the pressure and then keep everything under control. But so often, glaucoma is not something that you really can feel, and it doesn't really affect your vision. So you might start to think, oh, I don't need these drops, and skip them one day or skip them 2 days, and then the pressure never really stabilizes at a nice low level. So it's very very deceiving to have glaucoma, because your sight could be perfect 20/20 still, and you could still be going blind, because then you end up with tunnel vision.
Really?
Because when you lose your side vision, you can't see things over here.
Right.
And the pressure still stays high, then this closes in on you. And then you end up only being able to see straight through this hole.
Wow.
And then you won't see anything that's up above this hole without looking up. You won't be able to see anything below that hole without looking down. And you won't be able to see walls, so a lot of people start tripping,
Really?
bumping into walls, hitting their heads on objects. because their visual field has shrunk so much. And if it remains uncontrolled, then it goes narrow and then it just goes to black.
And blindness. Wow. That's scary.
So the purpose of any type of treatment is to lower the pressure.
Right.
If you have any kind of visual field loss, just keep it at that point. Don't let it progress any further because it's totally preventable. Blindness is totally preventable.
So how
in glaucoma.
how does it get? How do you get glaucoma?
Well, there's just several risk factors. Some people are predisposed to it because of a family history. And that's the number one trait or risk factor. Then it's your race, your ethnicity, any other medical conditions that you might have, like diabetes and glaucoma. They like to hang out together. So if you're long-term diabetic, that increases your likelihood of also developing glaucoma. So there's a lot of different risk factors that you have to have before you're actually diagnosed. The pressure in the eye has to be too high, or it could be normal, or you have to show some type of visual field loss. There's a lot of different risk factors that have to be checked off before you're actually diagnosed and started on the treatment process, because once you start with the drops, you usually are on them for life.
Really?
Now, is it good to do drops? You know, like for
It's-
anybody? Because sometimes I feel like my eyes are dry, and if I do put the drops,
Yeah.
I feel clearer.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking about the number one reasons patients come into the office. I don't know why I was thinking about this today, but the number one reason I would say is either allergies or dry eyes. It's refractive area, I can't see, things like that, that's very common too, but people have scratchy, dry eyes from so many reasons. Environmental reasons.
Environment. Yes, bad.
Your habits, like being on a computer for so long and staring at a screen, really staring intently and not actually blinking. That causes a lot of dry eyes. And then there's inflammation. Inflammation is another one of those conditions that just wreaks havoc on the whole entire body.
Well, I find that with
So that's where food comes in.
exactly,
Very
exactly,
important.
exactly.
And if you can digest the right types of food that lowers your inflammation in the body, could prevent arthritis.
Oh,
you
yeah.
could prevent so many different kind of conditions like dry eye as well.
Exactly.
But if you have it, there's different levels of severity of dry eyes, and drops is one of them. Ointments is another. Restasis, which is very common and now advertised so much on TV, helps you produce extra healthy tears. So there's different levels of treatment for dry eyes, so you don't have to suffer.
But see, my scare is when you have these medications and they sound benign, but they do have side effects.
Yes, but there are always side effects. There's always a side effect in the medication.
But that's why I try to do the more
natural,
Yeah.
yes.
You know, and with that, I
Fish
actually
oils.
have, well, the oils,
Omega-3,
exactly,
those are very
exactly,
helpful.
exactly.
You could just
Even-
eat salmon, a lot
Right,
of fish,
exactly,
and
exactly.
that's some healthy oils that.
Certain vitamins and I know that I had a friend that had glaucoma and the diabetes and what have you, and she started with the noni, and I'm a big advocate. I drink that every day, and her pressure came down. She would go back to the doctor, and they're like, "How did your pressure go down?" And she made sure she had that noni every day, and actually, I think she used drops of the noni. There was a solution. And she put it in her eye, and it caused it to come down too. So there was a regimen that she followed, because there's a book that it will tell you
There must be some really natural products there for it not to be irritating to the eye. 'Cause the eyes are very sensitive.
Yeah, no, it was very, very natural products, and it's helpful. I'll give you the recipe, and I'll let you read the book.
No, there are definitely
but the-
holistic approaches to almost the treatment of most diseases.
Yeah, I just get nervous because of those side effects. Because a lot of times those side effects lead to more challenges.
It's-
You know,
Right.
so
It's true.
and so you say it could be hereditary, and but you know what happens? A lot of us are doing the same thing our parents did. So therefore, I don't feel it's genetic. It's more like epigenetics because it's a environmental
Well,
genetics.
No, not with glaucoma.
Really?
Yeah,
I
genetics
don't
only.
know.
It's just genetics.
Well, I have seen it so much that if you can break that chain, and because we all end up doing the same thing our parents do, so therefore you say it's genetics, but technically it's because we're doing the same thing that our parents did, so therefore we're ending up getting the same diseases. So that's where my frame works, unless it's on the gene, you know. But half the time, I have not really encountered it on the gene,
I'm not
unless it's
saying
Down
that-
syndrome or something
Right,
on that
right,
order.
right,
That
right.
is definitely a genetic issue, or cystic fibrosis or something on that order. But in terms of it being really, oh yeah, it's all because I did what you did, you know, and I'm doing what, because in terms of me being overweight, oh yeah, my whole family was overweight. But guess what? We ate the same way, so therefore I ended up building my fat cells just like my aunt and and what have you. So it's not because it had to be that way, but it ended up being that way because of the environment.
Pattern.
Yeah, patterns. You know, so hey, that's just me. But in terms of stress, I was saying earlier, stress causes a lot of issues, right?
Stress, yes, it causes a lot of problems with trying to live a healthy lifestyle. No matter what you do, you might eat right, you might exercise, you might get enough rest, but if you have a lot of stress at work or at home, it really can throw your whole body off, and it makes it very difficult to regulate the different type of hormones in your body, or estrogen, testosterone, and all that, when you're under a lot of stress. So it's always important to just, if you have a medical condition and you're aware of it, you just follow what your doctor's orders are and try not to think about it anymore.
But you find that it does affect the eyes and
Well, stress, I mean, it affects everything. Not so much the eyes. I mean, if your eyes are under stress, you might feel your eyelids twitching. A lot of people have that sign or a symptom of twitching eyelids. They just jump like every little bit. That's because the eyes are overworked and stressed out and tired.
because I've had that happen. I was wondering what that
Yeah,
was.
I had that a little
That's
bit
right.
too. How about spots in front of the eyes?
Yeah, I
I've
was gonna
heard people
ask about
talk
floaters.
spots,
Yeah,
Is it
those
floaters? Yeah.
Yes, vitreous
Yeah,
floaters.
yeah, because I've been getting those occasionally.
Very common, very annoying. I also have them. It's almost inevitable as we age.
Yeah.
We have a gel in our eye, the vitreous gel, and as we get older, it starts to disintegrate and degenerate into a liquid type of form. And sometimes in that process, it leaves a few cells just floating around. Sometimes those cells link up. It might look like a little strand floating around. Sometimes they clump up, and you might see a big spot, or you might see a lot of little individual cells. But it's not sight-threatening, as long as when you try to focus on them, they just don't stay still. They just drifts off away. And it's very noticeable when you're in a bright environment, like the beach. It's very annoying because it's so bright, and those cells cast a shadow on your retina. So it really makes it very obvious. In dim settings, you won't hardly ever notice your floaters.
Right, right.
So it does depend on the environment.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of people think it's little gnats flying around them, so you see them wiping like that. That's
So that's
me.
common then.
That's
with
me.
That's a common thing.
As you get older,
As you get
As you get
unfortunately.
older, yeah.
And I was
It's
like,
inevitable.
okay.
Sometimes it gets really bad, and you might have to get a vitrectomy to remove it.
What?
But, yeah, sometimes it gets really bad.
What is a vitrectomy?
When they remove that gel in the
Oh,
eye.
really?
Yeah, but it's hardly ever recommended.
No. So then what do you, if they remove the gel, then what happens?
I'm sure they insert
It gets
some.
worse. Oh,
different-
some other artificial stuff. Okay.
Are they coming out with new procedures now for the eyes, for different surgeries?
Well, I don't do the surgeries.
Oh, you don't
and
do-
I
so
don't
you don't
really
know.
keep track of the
Yeah.
new procedures. I know the popular one, LASIX, the refractive correction surgery. That's very common now.
Mm.
10 years ago, it was scary. Now
This
everybody
is true.
just do
Right,
it.
right.
It's
Yeah.
a one-day process in and out.
Yeah.
That's just amazing about the eyes. The eyes
Yeah.
recover very quickly.
Really?
Actually, contact lens related abrasions and all those bad things that happen if you don't take the proper care of your contacts and you come screaming with a red eye, it really heals very quickly because every day we get a fresh new layer of cells on our cornea.
Really?
Every single day.
Wow.
But keeping that layer on and not coming off due to the dryness in your eyes is
That
tricky to
causes
manage.
infections, right? You're talking about the contacts that people sleep in them and then they don't take them out.
They don't
Causes
take them
infections.
out, and they get too tight on the eye, and then they try to peel them off. They peel off that front surface of cells, and you end up having an abrasion. Very painful.
Oh my
Never
gosh.
recommended unless you have the proper contact lenses fitted for overnight wear.
Oh my goodness. That's scary.
It'd be great if they have contacts you could wear for like a month. You can't, there's like,
There are contacts.
oh, you could wear
30
for a
days,
month
yes.
and you could sleep in them and, see, that's
Night
what I
and
would
day.
do.
Really? That's changed a lot.
I don't recommend it.
Yeah.
There's certain types of industries, like truckers, mechanics, where their hands are just very,
yeah.
and you don't, they
Right.
don't clean them. They might contaminate their eyes so
Right,
much.
yeah.
So certain industries, I might
Right.
recommend an extended wear lens. I hardly ever recommend it. 30 days. I wouldn't sleep 30 days in my boots or shoes. I would definitely not sleep 30 days with something on my eyes.
I hear you. That sounds too scary for me. But no. Well, I wear my glasses, but I wish my eyes could get better. But at one point, I always wanted to wear glasses, and then when I started, now I was like,
Isn't there exercises? I heard that there's
I
exercises.
joke about second sight. It can get better
They
right
can?
before it gets worse.
Is there exercises you could do? There's exercises, right, you could do for the eyes too?
Oh, that's called vision therapy. We usually have younger patients do that while their visual system is still developing. So people with eye turns, lazy eyes that might wander out, do certain type of exercise to build up those muscles, make them easier to control. Yes. So there are some type of accommodative, unable to focus on certain things. There are techniques to improve that in children. But after a certain age, when that visual pathway is sealed and all of our developing is done, about 13, 12, then it's pretty much vision
It's a
therapy
wrap,
won't
huh?
work much.
I know my mom had lost her vision or lost control of one of her eyes one time for just maybe a month. She said that it just kind of went kind of cockeye or whatever, and then all of a sudden it came back. So I don't know what that was called, but I don't think she knew, but she was younger. And but it just kind of lost control for a little bit, and then it came back. So I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah. But so your eyes, everything, just, you have to take care of it.
Yes.
You really have to take care of you.
Yes.
And you have to get back to basics. That's why this is why we're here.
That's right.
You
That's
know?
right.
One question.
Mhm.
You said that you are a philanthropist as well as a supermom. So we want to talk about that a little bit, you know.
Yes.
So tell us.
I feel that some of my extracurricular activities, number one being the Malik Melody Sisterhood
Right.
organization.
Right.
Then number two, I would have to say, is my Merchants Association
Okay.
that I'm still trying to get off the ground with neighboring businesses in the community
Okay.
to give back to the community. I feel that
Wonderful.
each business in your community should be able to give back to the community. We do so at Bright Eyes Vision Care.
Really?
We sponsor, we just sponsored the CSI back to school backpacks.
Okay.
We donated 300 backpacks filled with supplies. And they
Really?
distribute them at a free barbecue and Adventure Day.
Oh,
Mhm.
wow.
And the Nickelodeon Fun and Play Day.
Mm-hmm.
We sponsored all the food and drinks for that event. We had
Really?
about 300 kids come out to enjoy themselves in the park, and Nickelodeon showed up with all their Nickelodeon stuff and music, and they had a great time. And let's see, what other one? Oh, yes, we sponsored Diabetes Awareness Walk
Right.
and Health
Yes,
Fair in
yes,
Freeport.
Yes.
I was a silver sponsor for that. So I try to find ways to give back to the community.
That's great.
If it's not sponsoring something, maybe doing a free health screening
Mm-hmm.
at a local church, because they do their health fairs. We show up there. So I think it's important. That's why I went back to Jamaica, because I wanted to serve as a role model, because I grew up there. And when the kids hear me say, "Oh, I went to 72.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I went to PS 140." They was like,
Yeah.
"You went to my school?"
Yeah.
So they're very surprised to say, "And you're a doctor and you went to St." I
Yes,
say,
exactly.
It just goes to show
Yeah.
it's not where you come from
No.
that's going to determine what you become. You can do whatever you set your mind to.
That's it.
And so I'm living proof of it. And that's why I'm still in South Jamaica in
No,
both
that's wonderful.
locations.
That's wonderful. Because I'm also a graduate from 72.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Okay. See?
I was the first graduating class.
Wow.
Because they, that did 3 years. Because they came in and they had, I guess, an eighth grade class, but I did 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade. And we were the first ones to graduate.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, when it was IS 72
Brand new.
and Benjamin Slushing, whatever it is. But now it's Count Basie.
And now it's
my,
Count Basie.
Okay.
That's right.
But, yeah. Hmm.
Those some the area has some really tough schools.
Oh, yeah. It was very formidable, and I ended up going to music and art high school. I was very much, and there was one teacher that was very, very indicative of me getting to where I needed to be. And she was an art teacher, so she helped me because I was very overweight and very not feeling very good about my self-image and what have you, because, so,
I think we
Yeah.
all went through that at that age, right? That self-image thing.
yes,
Thanks
very.
to Judy Blume books, we made it through.
And so we're doing wonderful things now.
That's
and
right.
And for you to be such an inspiration for these kids. So your own kids, you have how many children?
I have 2 children.
Yeah.
Yep, married to my husband, Frederick.
Okay.
We've been together since, I would say 26 years.
Wow.
And my daughter is 21. Nope, she just turned 22
Okay.
in September.
Okay.
And she's graduating from Hampton University.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And my son is going to be 16 this year. And he's at
Okay.
Baldwin High School.
Okay. Very good. Very good. So you are a supermom.
Yeah, they always say if you want something done, give it to a busy person.
Right. Exactly.
Right? They say,
Exactly.
because we really keep things organized and on top of everything.
Really.
So 2 offices, 2 children,
And a husband.
and a husband, and 2 dogs.
2
And
dogs.
2 dogs, really? Okay. And I was over at your house the other day, and I enjoyed myself. That was so much fun. And she's
I'm
just
glad.
a very hospitable person, and because we went to the diabetes
Yeah,
walk,
the health fair.
and it was really they did such a beautiful job.
They did. It
Oh
turned
my
out really
goodness,
good.
it was
A lot of
really, really
organizing, but
nice.
it was worth it.
Yeah, it was. But you all did amazing, and with I can't wait to go to your shop.
That's probably around the corner from you, right?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
not far. Yeah, I was like,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
yeah,
That's right.
yeah. It's like
She'll be
5 minutes
sporting
away.
in her new glasses.
Yes. I
It's so funny. I want, when I used to look at people with glasses, I used to want to just have glasses and wear them because I love the look of them. And now I wish I didn't have the glasses, but I always wanted to have like 10 different, funky different glasses.
Let me just get a cough
Yeah.
drop.
Well, I'll tell you, it's amazing that Dr. Lisa has just inspired so many people, and that's what it is all about. It's all about
I try
inspiring
to.
the kids
The
and
children,
giving
yeah,
back
starting at a
to
young
the
age.
community, and it's truly
It makes a
real
difference.
blessing.
They really enjoy here in their school, and I always promised myself that I was gonna get my junior high school diploma and my elementary school and put them up in the office so they could see that I really
Yeah,
graduated from
yeah.
their school.
Because where is your
And right, the one on the South Shore is in Rochdale, right off Baisley Boulevard and Guyborough Boulevard.
Okay.
So that's right at the beginning of the
Very
Rochdale
good.
Village on Baisley.
Baisley. I'm trying to just think. Baisley and
Guyborough.
Guyborough.
It used to be called New York Boulevard.
New York Boulevard.
That's
No, I know. I know where it is. I'm just trying to envision. Oh, okay. Okay, I got it. I will be there.
Either that one or the other location.
Okay. Well, no, that's more convenient. For
Yeah,
me.
see? That's
It's
why I
definitely more
opened over there.
convenient.
Everyone
It's-
says that location is very convenient.
Yeah, because parking and what have you.
Exactly.
And then you can go over to the restaurants
That's
in the
right.
neighborhood.
That's right.
So
That's right.
it's yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But
Good.
I'm just so happy that you were able to come out and share
Thank you
and
for having me.
because you're such a caring person and giving back to the neighborhood and that's my hood. So it's like yay, and that's what I'm about to also sharing and caring and giving back, and that's why we're here, just
right.
sharing people's passions and journeys and hopefully inspiring each other. So you have to give where they can call you, email, get your addresses, what have you, and because we only have a few more minutes.
Okay, well, you could look me up at brighteyesvisioncare.net. Or you can find me on Facebook, Bright Eyes Vision Care. We have 2 locations in Jamaica, one at 17805 Hillside Avenue. That's in Jamaica Estates, New York, 11432. And the number at that office is 718-657-0050. And the other convenient location is at 12221A Guyborough Boulevard, and that is Jamaica or Springfield Gardens, New York 11434. And the number at that location is 718-527-0550.
And what's your hours like over there?
Okay, we're open every day except for Sundays and Wednesdays.
Okay.
And the very first Saturday of every month,
Okay.
we're closed. We have same office hours at each location. Monday and Friday is 9 to 5. Tuesday is 10 to 6. Thursday is 11 to 7. And Saturdays are 10 to 3.
And then you have to make an appointment to see the doctor.
Yeah, you have to call, set up an appointment. We accept most major medical insurances. most Medicaid programs, and even the local union vouchers.
Oh,
We
okay.
take those like DC 37, UFT, 1199. So we pretty much cover almost every occupation in that South Jamaica area. We accept their insurance.
Excellent. Okay. Well, I have my stepfather. I'm gonna bring him too.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see.
I'm gonna bring him too. Yeah, yeah. I
That'd be
can't wait
great.
too. So the thing is, but you can go and walk in just to buy glasses
Yes,
too.
yes.
So
If you have your
that-
own prescription, feel free. You don't no appointment necessary. We have stylists that are there that could pick out the perfect frame that suits your facial structures and features.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, I'm like excited because you always look good with glasses.
That's the fun part.
You know?
That's the fun part. I mean, there's certain, I get immediate gratification when a child can see for the first time. They
Yeah.
You really can tell because they just like, oh, that's what over there.
Oh,
And when you
that's so
pick up,
sweet.
when you're picking out glasses,
Yeah,
that's really a fun part for me.
Well, I had asked you, how did you come up with the bright eyes?
Well, I always thought children had the brightest, biggest, most beautiful eyes, and it
Yeah.
always stuck with me. I knew when I was in optometry school
Yeah,
that if I open the office, this is going to be the name, Bright Eyes Vision Care.
that's so cool.
So-
I love it.
That's a great name.
I love it. And thank you for sharing your journey
My
and
pleasure.
and inspiring us all that we can become whoever we want to be,
Absolutely.
you know, so that
And it's never too late to take care of your eyes.
exactly, and never
Just
too
start
late
wearing your
to
sunglasses.
yeah. Oh, hey, I know, girl.
I'm doing it.
That's right.
Starting tomorrow.
Okay. Because that's, hey, you like the sun, but you would like your eyes. You want to be able to see. So, and be very aware with your kids. Make sure
Yes.
that they
Yes.
can see and
Listen to
ask
'em.
questions and help them. But thanks again.
Thank
and,
you.
It's my pleasure.
thanks you guys being our friends and coming out and sharing. And we'll be back next week with some more friends and sharing their passions for life with Dee and friends. See you later. Have a great one.